What if I told you that in the darkest corners of your vision, something is watching you? Something that isn't human. Something that may not even belong to our reality. Welcome to the Sci-Fi Vault, where we explore the mysteries of the unknown. In today's episode, we delve into a spine-chilling phenomenon that has haunted countless people for generations: the shadow people. These shadowy figures, often described as dark, human-like silhouettes, have been reported in cultures around the world. But what are they? Could they be entities from another dimension, paranormal beings, or something else entirely? For centuries, people have reported seeing shadow people, usually in the corner of their eyes, moving quickly, silently, and disappearing just as fast. They're often seen at night, in the dark, and many who encounter them describe an overwhelming sense of dread. But are they just figments of our imagination? Or are they real, and watching us from the shadows? Theories behind shadow people. To understand the mystery of the shadow people, we need to explore the various theories that attempt to explain their existence. First, let's talk about the most grounded explanation: our minds. Sleep paralysis, a condition where you wake up but can't move, is often accompanied by hallucinations. People commonly report seeing shadowy figures during these episodes. It's possible that our brain, in its half-awake state, is playing tricks on us. But does this explain all the sightings? While sleep paralysis might explain some experiences, what about those shadow figures seen while people are wide awake? Some researchers believe shadow people are a psychological phenomenon, our brains misinterpreting shadows or movements in low light. But here's where things get strange. Many believe shadow people are not just a trick of the mind. In fact, there's a growing theory that they may be interdimensional beings, entities from a parallel universe that occasionally slip into ours. According to this theory, these beings exist in a dimension we can't normally perceive. But under certain circumstances, perhaps when the veil between dimensions is thin, they become visible to us. Could it be that shadow people are simply passing through our world, unnoticed by most, but sometimes caught in our peripheral vision? Chilling encounters and real-life stories. Now, let's talk about some of the most chilling real-life encounters with shadow people, stories that will make you question what's truly lurking in the dark.
It was late at night. I was watching TV and suddenly I saw something move in the corner of the room. At first, I thought it was just a shadow from the lights. But when I turned my head, it was gone. I brushed it off as nothing, but then it happened again. And this time, the figure stood still. I felt a cold shiver run down my spine, like someone was watching me.
This isn't an isolated case. Thousands of similar stories have surfaced across the globe. People report shadow people lurking in doorways, standing at the foot of their beds, or even reaching out to touch them. Some witnesses describe a heavy, suffocating presence accompanying these sightings, an aura of malevolence that's impossible to ignore. And then there's the Hat Man, a dark figure with a wide-brimmed hat, seen by many in their encounters with shadow people. He is often described as more menacing than the other shadow figures, his presence evoking sheer terror in those who see him. So, what are these shadow people? Could they be figments of our imagination, visitors from another dimension, or perhaps something more sinister? As we continue this journey into the unknown, the answers might be closer than we think, or further from our reality than we could ever imagine. Unlike the typical shadow people, who are often fleeting and ambiguous, the Hat Man appears in vivid detail, always the same. Dark, tall, with a wide-brimmed hat that casts a shadow over his face. Many who encounter him say they feel an overwhelming sense of dread and even malice. Could the Hat Man be a different kind of shadow person, one with a more sinister agenda? The Hat Man is not just a figure in the dark. He has appeared in vivid detail in thousands of reports, crossing cultures, continents, and generations. Some believe he is a harbinger of doom, appearing to those who are about to experience a tragedy. Others believe he is an entity that feeds on fear, growing stronger the more terrified his victims become. Chilling encounters and theories on the Hat Man. Let's take a moment to hear from those who have come face to face with the Hat Man, real people who have experienced the terror firsthand.
I woke up in the middle of the night, unable to move. At first, I thought it was sleep paralysis again, but then I saw him. He was standing in the corner, wearing that hat. I could feel him watching me, like he was studying me. The fear was unlike anything I've ever felt. And then, he moved closer, his face still hidden in the shadows. I tried to scream, but nothing came out. I thought I was going to die.
Stories like these have circulated for years, and while skeptics dismiss them as mere sleep paralysis or hallucinations, the consistency in these reports is chilling. How can so many people, many of whom have never met, describe the same figure in such a tale? Some theorize that the Hat Man could be an ancient entity, feeding on fear and despair. Others believe he may be an interdimensional traveler who crosses into our world either by accident or with dark intentions. There's even speculation that the Hat Man could be connected to the world of the dead, a grim reaper of sorts, watching over those who are nearing their end. But there is one theory that's more terrifying than any other, that the Hat Man may not be an isolated entity, but the leader of an entire race of shadow people. A malevolent force guiding other shadow figures to observe, manipulate, and possibly influence our world. Scientific and paranormal explanations. So, what could explain this phenomenon? Is there a logical, scientific answer, or are we dealing with something beyond our understanding? From a scientific perspective, some researchers attribute the Hat Man to sleep paralysis, a condition where the body is unable to move during the transition between sleep and wakefulness. The feeling of a presence in the room, accompanied by terrifying hallucinations, is a common symptom. But sleep paralysis alone doesn't account for all sightings of the Hat Man, particularly those seen while wide awake. Could there be more to this than just a glitch in the brain system? Paranormal researchers believe that shadow people and the Hat Man exist in a realm that we have yet to fully understand, a place where the rules of our reality simply do not apply. Whether they are spirits, interdimensional travelers, or figments of our imagination, one thing is clear: the shadow people are more than just shadows. They seem to be watching, waiting for something, but what? Conclusion and final thoughts. As we conclude our exploration into the world of shadow people and the Hat Man, we are left with more questions than answers. Are these dark figures mere hallucinations brought on by sleep deprivation, or are they something far more sinister? Could they be beings from another dimension, slipping into our reality and observing us from the shadows? Or could the Hat Man be an ancient, malevolent force, waiting for his moment to strike? Ultimately, the truth behind the shadow people may never be fully revealed. But as long as the sightings continue, one thing is for certain: these figures will continue to haunt the darkest corners of our minds. And perhaps they are watching you right now, just beyond your vision. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more creepy and mysterious content from the Sci-Fi Vault. Until next time, keep your eyes open and watch the shadows.